everyone, how's it going? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Tuesday. This is Nilu Kamis coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So I wanted to come on live and talk to you a little bit about something that I've actually struggled with in the last week or so. And the title of this post may give you a hint. Good evening. Yes, good evening, Joseph. I've been struggling with something the last couple of weeks, and the other night I was having this conversation with my husband, and I said to him, you know what? I got bit by this bug. It's more commonly known as the shiny object syndrome. So those of you who are entrepreneurs may know this. You may be familiar with this. And yes, seize the opportunity, every opportunity that comes my way. So that's been my, go-to phrase for a long time. But here's the thing. I think we need a little bit more clarity around that, because I find that it can be very misleading, because we think that every opportunity is something that we need to act on, and that I don't think it's not very accurate. Because sometimes you really need to evaluate and see how this opportunity might be fitting into your bigger vision, right? Because not every opportunity is going to be the right one for you. I don't know if you agree with me on that or if you're going to argue me on that. So let me know what you think. Because I really want to hear a counter argument to that statement, because for the longest time I thought the same way. I thought that every opportunity should be given the time, and at least contemplate, at least check it out and see what it could bring you. But sometimes, and this is the tricky part, sometimes when the monetary reward is really appealing, we try to talk ourselves into taking that opportunity and diving into it without really taking into account that it may be taking us away from what we're actually working towards right now, right? So Joseph says, totally agree, not everything is a good fit. Isn't there a quote that the most successful people say no to a lot of things? Most things, yeah. And that's so true. Like, you really have to learn to say no to certain things, right? Like, if it's not healthy for you, for example, if you're taking on a project where you're going to be overly exerting yourself, and that in the long run it's not going to really benefit you or your family, that's not necessarily a good thing, right? So anyways, the reason I came across this topic, or thought of talking about this, is because in the last 2 weeks I came across an opportunity that I thought was the best thing that came my way, right? And as many of you might know, I've been working on building my marketing / coaching business, and that's been going really great. And I've been getting a lot of momentum. I've been getting a lot of great feedback. And, it was just inspiring. I've been inspired to put more time into it and, build those relationships and keep working consistently on what I was doing and my vision. And here comes this opportunity, and, it looked really great. Like, eventually once it works out, not like right away, but once it works out in a couple of months, couple of years maybe, the financial aspect of it looked really appealing. So I said, okay, I'm going to entertain this for a little bit. How is this going to look for me? How can I integrate this into my bigger picture, my bigger vision? And that's when I started to understand that was not going to go. It was not going to work, right? Because, so 3 questions I asked myself. Number 1, is it in alignment with my bigger picture, my bigger vision for what I was doing right now, for the business I'm building right now? Is it going to complement it, or is it going to hinder the growth, or completely take me away from that business altogether, right? And so I guess, it depends from person to person, right? Like, if you're not really liking what you're doing, then maybe entertaining a different route or a different vehicle might be a good fit for you. It just wasn't for me. So as soon as I asked that question, is it aligned with what I was doing? It was completely, they were going two separate ways, right? So that was number one. Number two, I'm going to grab my cheat sheet here. Give me 1 second. Number two, the question was, what is this about? Is it about creating, obviously, it was going back to that vision, but is it about creating more money, or is it about creating more happiness, right? So, again, when the financial outcome is looking really great, we tend to talk ourselves into, exploring something that may not even be along the path of what you're doing for your business, for your consulting business, or for your sales or your marketing practices, right? So if it's not in alignment, then that will send off warning bells, and you will feel it. You will feel it. You will feel that something is off, and really paying attention to that feeling, to those emotions, can be the answer. That will lead you to the answer that you're looking for. And for me, that was, okay, looking at that the bottom line, right? Was that worth giving up all of my time with family, with the connections I've already made, with the clients that I'm actually helping? Was it worth giving all of that up, right? So that was a question that I asked. And then the other thing I had to ask myself was, are you being consistent to your with the work that I was already doing? Am I going to now have to choose between one or the other, right? So consistency is really key to success. We all know this. Repetition is the key, right? You repeat it enough, you create a habit, and it becomes second nature. And then soon enough, you look back and you think, oh, that was really easy. But at the beginning, you really have to put work into it, right? You really have to make a conscious effort to keep consistent. So those were my three things that I asked myself. And it was funny because I, what I took into my hand was actually my book, not this book. This is just my notes for my lives. But I took my book where I had written down my vision for 2019. And that is what really helped me decide whether I was going to go forward with this opportunity or not. So the takeaway I have for you guys is go back to your vision. I hope you guys write it down, because this is what you use it for. When you are in a situation where you have two different options, or various different options that are you're presented with, and you have to choose whether this is the right move for you, go back to that vision, go back to those goals that you have set, and think about whether taking this step towards this opportunity, this new opportunity that has come your way, is going to help you get to that vision that you've outlined for yourself for the rest of the year. Maybe it's not for the year, maybe it's like your life vision. But the point is, you have a reference point, because we tend to get distracted by these shiny objects that look appealing on the outside, but they don't really have, or they might not have, a lot of essence on the inside. So when you have written down your goals, your vision, that helps you evaluate what is most important to you. And you can then look at the opportunity that you're contemplating, you're deciding on, and make that decision to say, okay, this is exactly what is going to work for me, or I can integrate this into my business and still make it work, or no, this is not going to work for me. It's not worth taking the risk, because something that I'm building already, it's going to get sabotaged. I'm going to lose my that streak of consistency that I've been having with doing my business, because I'm now going to be distracted by this other thing that sounds really great, but you still have to build it, right? Nothing just comes and falls on your lap. You still have to put effort and build it and market it and do all of those things that you are already doing for your existing business. So making sure that you are in alignment with your vision always comes down to that, for me at least. So I hope that was helpful. Hi Aradhana, thanks for joining. Hi Terry, thanks for hopping on. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and if you're liking what you see, give me a thumbs up or a heart. And so that was my message to you. It was a really good opportunity for me to kind of sit down and explore this opportunity. Not because I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna say no. I was a little disappointed because I was like, man, that's a lot of potential in income. But at the end of the day, I know focusing my attention, lasering in on what I was doing was going to give me more joy and more fulfillment, because I love what I'm doing right now, right? So why then would I try to dilute that with something that just, that looks great, but I don't even know whether it's something that I would like, right? So anyways, that was my 2 cents on the shiny object syndrome. But if you guys, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think I should have thought about it in a different way? What do you think? What do you think that you would do in that situation where you were presented with an opportunity where, would you even entertain it? Would you try it out? All I can say is what I decided based on the information I had, and I went back to my vision. I went back to my vision for 2019, and I looked at it, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, no, this is not for me. This is just not for me. Not right now, at least. So let me know what you guys think. If you were presented with an opportunity where you would have the opportunity to make, let's say, $10,000 a month. Of course, you'd have to build it to that. It's not going to happen like in a month. You'd have to probably work at it about, 2 years before you got to that. But would you drop everything that you're doing right now, or would you risk everything that you're doing right now and add this new thing that has the potential to make you lots of money into your busy calendar? Let me know what you think. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.